The poem is written without punctuation because it's a poem of free association. I started writing it with no idea where it would go nor what I wanted to say, and I sat at the table and looked at a bowl of pears on the table and thought I'd just let my mind produce what it wanted. So I wrote the poem without punctuation to mimetically show the way that the mind works when it flows from one thought to another. Picasso did a drawing of Guillaume Apollinaire, the poet, a caricature of him in which he looks like a pear. His head's pear-shaped and he has two close-set eyes like the seeds in a pear. So when I was improvising, freely associating on the pear, this came back to my mind. And it seemed what the poem was leading to. The climax was the fact that Apollinaire was killed in the First World War, and all of his very sweet music was cut short. So that's what the fatal and fragrant Apollinaire means. Not just the fragrance of the pear, but the fragrance in the sense of sweetness of his song, fragrant in that sense. A physical setting is always necessary for me to start writing. It has to be in some specific place with specific images of it. This is perhaps as far from a specific place as I get. But what is specific is that while I'm thinking about the pear, there's a thunderstorm begins outside, and that gets incorporated into the poem. And the thunderstorm leads me to think of war and of the butcher, the lightning, like a butcher who sharpens his knife on a sharpening iron and cuts swathes of light into the garden, like the flashing of a knife, the lightning. And that thinking of war makes me associate the pear and war to produce Apollinaire, who was killed in the war. So you can see it's really quite clear. It's not so exotic or arcane, the association. I think you could follow it through. Swarthy as oilcloth and as squat as Sancho Panza, wearing a beret's little stalk, the pear itself suggests the application of some rigour, the finest blade from the knife drawer. Here, to freshen it is one slice and then another, the north fall, south fall, facets of glacier, the snow-clean juice with a slight crunch that is sweet. I find lintels and plinths of white marble, clean angled, where there slides the perfume globule, a freshness like the breeze that is felt upon the opening of day's fan. Enku, sculptor of pine stumps, revealed the 10,000 Buddhas with his attacks, the calligraphic axe. Rationalised shape, shaped with vertical strokes, I have made of your jowled buttocks a squareness neatly pelvic. A Sunday of rain, and like a drain, a pipe that was agog and is now chock-a-block, the limber thunder rebounds and bounds. It comes pouring down a funnel. It comes pouring down a funnel the wrong way around, broadcasts its buffoon militants over the houses all afternoon. Undone, the laces of rain dangle on the windows. Now slicing iron, a butcher is sharpening the light of his favourite knife. It shimmers carving stripes into the garden. And I have carved the pear-shaped head with eyes close set as pips that Picasso saw his poor friend who had gone to war, a cubist snowman, the fragrant and fatal Apollinaire.